Since 2007, Rubin Singer has been designing clothes that are as razor sharp as they are elegant. I sit down with a designer to discuss how his brand began and where it's headed. So talk to me about the beginning of the brand.
I started my eponymous label in 2007, and I actually started it very unexpectedly and very quickly. And
Unexpectedly how?
I was sort of incentivized and kind of forced by my stylist at the time to do a collection, and there was about, say, a little bit over 4 weeks before Fashion Week, and so I got some sewing machines up in my apartment and I started conceptualizing very, very quickly about what I was going to do, and I made a collection in my apartment.
How have you kind of transitioned from working for incredibly large, successful companies, both De La Renta and Bill Blass, now to starting your own eponymous label? How has the work that you did there influenced the work you're doing for your own name?
Well, working at De La Renta definitely taught me how to be a professional. It taught me the ins and outs of how a company ought to be run, how a design process functions in reality, not in concept, from start to finish, from the fabric selections to all the way through to the finished garment, and how imperative it is to have all the steps that are put into place be aligned at the right times in the right ways in order for it to facilitate a full, cohesive, complete collection. In American fashion, you can't just necessarily do what you want all the time. You have to cater to your clientele.
Yeah.
Real women are wearing these clothes, and you have to make them look and feel amazing at all times. And to do that, you really have to be thinking about them, and then you, and then the two of you, and then how you're going to make that new, forward, and wearable. Having
been in business now for 6 years, how do you think the business has changed since that first collection?
Oh my God, in every way. My approach to the business became much more clear. Whereas before it was much more, I was flighty and just thinking about all of the, quite frankly, the unimportant things.
Like what?
Fashion shows.
Right.
Fashion shows are wonderful, but they cost so much money and take so much time from the actual functionality of the business that you have to really make strategic decisions as to how you're going to present your collection. I used to be doing shows, massive shows at the tents, and now it's just not that time anymore. And I think the recession has made that true for a lot of designers, not just myself.
I know this is a bit like asking you to choose your favorite child, but if you had to pick 3 pieces from the spring collection that you think most embody the aesthetic, which pieces would they be?
I have always been abstinent and hated animal prints, and women love them. Everyone in the office knew how long I was fighting this whole situation, and finally I came up with this ocelot that I inverted into a negative and developed in Italy this technique that actually doesn't print, it scratches off the pigment. Oh. So there's a linear aspect to the actual print, so that's one. I love mixing skins and textiles. So for me, one of my favorite things has always been to work with python. So there's like a number of python pieces in this collection that
which are very dynamic pieces.
Yeah, I love them.
It's the first place my eye goes.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love them. And so I think the third would be my raincoats. I did some really amazing raincoats this season. I have always been fascinated by outerwear. My father has always done outerwear. I grew up, watching him, be called the king of the coats back in the 80s, and coats have always been a big part of my work, and in this collection I introduced rainwear.
Who do you think the Rubin Singer woman is?
The Rubin Singer woman is a woman who has an innate sense of oneself. Essentially, my job as a designer is to articulate and define my sensibility and have it become part of, ultimately, the cultural zeitgeist, but to have a DNA that's very strong within the clothes that then can be translated to a woman that wants to feel and look amazing. And I always talk about how, men, we get our strengths from our physical bravado, our bank accounts, our political power. Guys can get all kinds of, empowerment from different things. And I believe that no matter how, professional or successful a woman is, when you make her feel good and strong and beautiful, that's really when she's unstoppable.